Welcome to the CART EMR Lab video tutorial series. In this video, we will be talking about installing new post processors for Fusion 360. So I have a laser cut set of parts here, a setup created and a toolpath created, and it's time to output it to the machine. So when you output CAM setups, computer-aided machining setups from software to the machine language to be run on whatever it is, the mill, the lathe, the laser, any CNC equipment, you have to go through a process called post-processing. And post-processing just translates from the generic setup that the software has in it to a machine-specific set of instructions. So in Fusion 360, the post-processing is done through this G1, G2 button right here. And that brings up the post-process dialog. And in here, there's a couple things we need to pay attention to. One of them is this gray box here is the list of machines that have post-processors installed. And the one that we want in this case is not installed currently. We want a universal laser post-processor. And you can see it just doesn't exist on the list. So we need to go get that. There's a couple ways you can do that. One of them is to download it from the library, which is here, which is not what we're going to do in this case. In the lab, we use pre-downloaded files that are on the shared Google folder on Google Drive. So we're going to go get it from there. One thing before we do that, though, is we want to take this configuration folder right here, and we want to copy that path. Now, the easiest way to do that is to just click anywhere in here once with the mouse, and then you're going to, on the keyboard, press Control and the A key, so Control A, and then Control C, and that will copy that entire path. So the Control A is a select all, and then Control C is the copy command. Now once we've done that, I'm going to hit the cancel button here. I'm going to minimize Fusion for a second, and I'm going to go over, and this is the shared drive in Google Drive that we have for the lab, and there's a folder called, in the EMR lab, there's a folder called Posts and Tool Libraries. So if you go into there, that's where universallaser.cps is. So we're going to go ahead and download that. So if you right click on it, that's a right click, you can hit download. It'll come up with the download dialog box. And I have a save as box that pops up. You may not. It may just start downloading it. I'm going to go ahead and just put it in the downloads folder, leave the file name the way it is, and hit save, and it'll download that. So I'm going to switch now to a Windows Explorer that has my downloads in it, and you can see that universallaser.cps, which is the file we just took off the shared folder, is here in the downloads folder on my computer. So what I want to do is I want to move that or copy that into that post-processor folder that we copied the path for. So I'm going to select this file, and I'm going to go up to the home screen. So if you don't have the menus showing, if they're minimized up like this, you're going to click on the home button, and you're going to go, I'm going to go copy to. So if I hit copy to, and down at the bottom there's choose location. So you want to go all the way to the bottom of the list and pick choose location. And it'll come up with this copy items box. And right here where it says folder, you want to highlight everything that's there. I like to hit the delete key to make sure there's nothing there. And then I'm going to do a Control V as in Victor, Control V. And that puts that whole path in there. And then I'm going to hit copy. And that should copy that file to that new location. Now when we bring up Fusion and we go back into the post-processor dialog box, you can see Universal Laser is picked. If it wasn't picked, you could come to the list, scroll down, and pick Universal Laser DXF. That's the post-processor we want to use for our Universal Laser in the class. If you were using, say, the Haas Mill or the Nomads, you would pick those post-processors off this list for the specific machine. You have to pick the correct post-processor or that translation won't be correct for what the machine is expecting. So Universal Laser DXF would be the one for this case. That shows that we got that post-processor downloaded. There are several other machines in the class, in the lab, that might need this done. The Nomads have a special post-processor. We might do an update, say, for the Haas or the Waterjet. So you need to keep an eye on those and use this procedure for any of the posts that you need to download and install.